What's good, everybody? This is Brandon here at the Everything is
It's been a minute.
Alright, I know, right? Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brandon here at the Excellence is an Understatement. Yo, I gotta get my intro confidence, man. Good evening, everybody. This is Brandon here at the Everything is Excellent. Excellence is an Understatement.
Yes. Come on, Brandon. Let's shake it off for a second.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Brandon here at Excellence is an Understatement Podcast. I'm hosting here with
Mimi, baby.
And we've got my boy. We're going to introduce him later. All right. No, I'm kidding. Tevin. We got Tevin, here. Chance LLC, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So, first of all, before we go any further, how are you doing today? How you been?
First of all, I've been
Been
great.
a little minute.
I've been great. Like, today was a great day. March has been good to me, so,
Look at us over here acting like we didn't see each other last week.
Yesterday.
No, yesterday. All right. No, but okay. Now to tell us a little bit about what's been up, what you got going on.
I got a promotion at my job.
Yeah. Shout out.
I am a lead teacher at my school, working with the infants, so it's kind of pretty fun.
Okay.
Then also, I said that I was going to dedicate March to, my goals and stuff.
Right.
So, I've been working on a cleaning company. I've been getting more clients for babysitting. And, I want to exercise. So, I've been exercising, every day, even if it's just, walking or something.
No, definitely.
So, life is good.
Shout out to Future.
Shout out to Future. What about you? You a newcomer?
Definitely. Oh, you gotta get to me first. So
Okay, I'm sorry.
We talked about me.
Brandon,
Go ahead,
I'm
me,
sorry.
all right?
Brandon, what's been going on?
All right, so what's been going on a lot. Last release was around the beginning of January.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess since then, Future's working on growing the coaching business, which that's been actually pretty good lately. Getting into writing my children's books more. Third children's book. Now I'm a vendor with Cobb County schools, Atlanta public schools. Mm-hmm. So they can pretty much direct deposit me straight for the books and things like that. It just makes it easier to navigate. As well as working on getting my clothing for the fitness brand back up and keep getting it going. Got a vinyl cutter, heating press back in the room, so just trying to do custom products as well. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, just got a lot kind of going on, but it's all good. So as y'all can see, we have a guest on here, and we're gonna get into everything behind, of course, that guest. But right now, we're just gonna have him introduce himself. This is Tevin Gillard.
Definitely.
Chance LLC. So I'm gonna just let him go ahead and take the floor for a moment. What's up?
All right. So, like I said, my name is Tevin Gillard. I am the creator of this new game called Chance the Game, and it's actually just fun right now in my process of life and where I am because of what this game is pretty much bringing to me as a whole. So I'm just enjoying all the blessings that are pretty much coming my way. That's what I will say.
All right. Well, let's get in a little bit of you, man. Where are you from? Where'd you come up at? What's a little bit about your background, things like that, man?
From Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Westlake High School. Fun fact, Cam Newton actually went to that high school.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
It's history.
Yeah, so I got to kind of see him, before he was Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Joined the military. I was in the Army for a while. All right, learned a lot of the fun skills.
Yeah.
And then I moved back. I go to the Art Institute of Atlanta.
Okay.
Studying my graphic design. As I do graphic design, and that's about it. That's where I am right now. That's the history of where I'm from and how we got here.
Okay.
That's dope, man. Tevin's a good friend of mine. Oh, you was about to say something?
I was gonna say, I haven't met a lot of people that was born and raised Atlanta.
You know what? The crazy thing is, I keep hearing
Y'all are
that.
rare.
How?
You were born and
Alabama. I was raised in Ohio, so.
So it's like a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm not from here. But
Y'all are rare.
That's crazy.
Hey, look, I don't care what y'all
for sure.
saying. I'm talking about, man, Cobb County, Atlanta, Austell, nah, I mean.
UCC?
Nah.
UCC now?
Yeah, no, I was born and raised Austell, Mapleton area. I just lived in Florida for 5 years. So, been back ever since, but nah, man, what's that? So,
how you say Marietta? You say Marietta?
Nah.
Definitely not.
I heard somebody say Marietta, like, what?
Hey, here's the thing. My parents are from New York, so you can imagine how hard they were trying to take. I used to sound like that. T.I. is all intelligent, you know what I mean, with the southern accent. That's kind of how it was, but living in Florida kind of went away, and then just having parents from New York, just their, over influence of trying to, hey, Brandon, you sound ignorant or whatever. You know how New Yorkers talk about Southern folks. It ain't no different if you family, especially if you say your parents and you the child.
You know what?
Yeah.
I stayed down here for like 2 years, and I went back home to Ohio. When I tell you, my whole family like roasted me because they was like, you sound country now. I'm like, what? Like, don't dare try me.
You like what? You like what?
What?
Like you don't even know you got one.
Right. So I don't know. It's crazy how that whole situation is.
That's dope. That's dope. We got Kylie, I don't even know why I didn't know you were Atlanta native, but
yeah, man,
or at least I forgot. But yeah, man, Tevin, as well as Tevin, man, we used to be in the gym. You know what I'm saying? He was a client AR one time. Man, hopefully he's still at it.
What's crazy? It's like we actually have to get back to that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because though I am still in the gym now, it's not the same to have that real push. To get stronger and to get better and still get educated on things that you kind of don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Because everybody goes to the gym, they have their little, renditions of what they do, but you don't really push yourself really more outside of the limits that you already know. You stay in your little box. So with our training, it was teaching me so many more things in muscle groups and how to incorporate them. You know what I mean? So definitely have to get back at that.
Yeah, man. Before we get into everything else, man, I want you to expound a little bit more on your game and everything.
Yeah.
We got one right there. Go and show the camera.
No.
That's mine. Just so y'all know. My copy. Y'all can have that.
All right, so yeah. So what do you want to know about the game?
So what you created, your idea behind it, what are you doing with it now, and just kind of your plans to see it for the future.
Initially, I created the game, right? Just with homies, right? I just made it for something for us to do, and I hadn't really had this idea of where it was going, because if you asked me this a couple years ago, how we would be doing right now, I would have never told you anything about cars. It was one of those things that, as I would teach it to people and show people, they kind of enjoyed it.
Right.
It took me going to the military, and we were out in the field doing the training. We don't really have a lot to do once it's downtime, so we planted on one of the cots. And I showed them how to play one night, and they played every night from that point on. Like every night, when it was downtime, they was like, "Hey, let's get the cards." Yeah. And I'm like, "All right, cool." So we get back, and the dude was like, "Why don't you just make your own cards?" Because we was playing with regular cards, I had made the game like this. Yeah. So he's like, "Why don't you just make your own cards?" And I hadn't thought about it at that point, so it was like, okay, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So I legit went home. And I grabbed some index cards and drew on the index cards how I wanted it to be. Went digital, and then from there, I started to really see people really gravitate towards this game. So that's been pretty dope. But where I want it to go, I want to, as far as our mission statement is to reach people. Despite the geographical locations, despite cultural differences, I just want to see people enjoy, being around other people. And that energy that this game brings so far. And it's crazy because so far, as we do these game nights weekly, you're starting to see strangers, right? Come in weekly, on this weekly basis. And it feels like you're in the backyard of somebody's barbecue. You know what I mean? Despite wherever we are. It's family, everybody seems cool, everybody meshes.
Cause cars and black people, man.
That's
our history.
Sounds about right.
Right. So like, okay, so you said something about the game nights. Like, where can we go to play?
Okay, so
yeah, tell the people, man.
Come on.
So every week we do a game night at Spin on Wednesday. It just starts at 8:00. Ends about 1 in the morning.
Peter Street, just so y'all know, Peter Street.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, all my Atlanta natives to know. It's
Definitely. Like, it's like an Atlanta staple kind of now.
Where does
I
that
was gonna say,
sit?
where is that?
Spin? What? It's right off Peter Street, near Escobar, Clark, Atlanta, by the stadium, that type of area.
Okay.
It's right there.
You know, we always know don't hang out places by the street in Atlanta. Where would you rank Peter? Like, you know, we got Everglades, we got Buckhead bars.
You got Edgewood.
You got
know
not
Edgewood.
Everglades. Why did I say Everglades, yo? That's in Florida, yo. I'm tripping. We have Edgewood, Buckhead bars, Peter Street. What's another?
Ponce, actually.
Ponce is a street. Where would you rank Peter Street as far as like how like the spot where people in our age group kind of go 25 to almost 30? You know what I mean?
You know what? I would actually rank them probably the second or third, truthfully, just because it's a whole thing of bars, right? Everything over there. You have Crew that just opened up over there. Spin. You had 255 at one point. Escobar. Frost Bar and Bistro and Lounge or whatever. Okay. Like, so it's a nice lineup on that whole strip. Yeah. And if you just go and park on the street parking, there's you don't have to pay. So it's pretty up there.
Yeah, man. If you know what Peter Street is, you know.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and where's the other spot that you
on Thursdays, the other spot is Madhouse Lounge, Supper Lounge. And it's kind of in a spot that you would never know. I never knew it was over there. But it's a nice venue. It really is.
Okay.
And that also starts at 8 and ends at 1 in the morning as well.
That sounds dope.
Yeah. And we're actually working on a third. I got invited to this place called Monday Night Brewery.
I heard of that.
Yeah.
Heard of that place.
It's a whole different monster.
My friend, shout out to Jaylia. She went there before. So yeah.
It's definitely huge. Like it's a big warehouse that they turned into like this space. And on Mondays they do this thing where as a vendor you could set up shop. So they have food, they have drink, they have a DJ, they have lo-fi music playing, they have anime being played, video games like old Segas and PlayStation 2s, like everything is in there.
Okay.
It's a nice place.
Well, I hope you venture out and stuff. Yeah. I want to see this like in stores and stuff. Like I already told you I want to get some of my girls and we have like game night and stuff.
Oh, definitely.
So that'll be fun.
Definitely. But I can't wait for that moment either. To like when you see it, like we're here. You know what I mean? Because you're really seeing the process of us, moving up and where we started from, where we are now, and how people are gravitating to it. But then to see it, in these stores and to see kids like know it off the top, like that's just what they grew up with, like how we were with Uno kind of, and that's what you're seeing, it being ushered in and this new wave, and it's pretty cool.
We're gonna have to have a game night, y'all.
Definitely.
What you think?
Most definitely. I already look, man. Me and Tevin, me and some other homies, we got a group chat. And our text messages.
Oh yeah.
I think it's all iPhone group chat. Do we all got iPhones in there?
Yeah, I believe we do. So
that's funny, yo.
That's rare.
Right? I hit the group chat like y'all. I already hit the group chat like y'all. What's up? Y'all see the games. Y'all know how I grew up in the fam. You know what I mean? So I'm always glad to have some drinks, whatever. Good vibes. About it. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I think we can move on to the quote of the day real quick before we get into these these topics and stuff. I ain't gonna flex you guys. I literally just looked up this quote of the day as y'all saw me, our YouTube viewership, looking at the.
Oh, God.
But I looked for something like this specifically, to be honest, just to expound on later in relation to how me and Tevin are as homies, right? And it pretty much is simple. Friendship is friendship, business is business. And not to go into deep detail, but me and Tevin, we're good homies. And we've we've known each other for about maybe 2 years now, a year and a half, something like that.
We're going on 2.
Well, you know what? Actually, it feels like I think it's been a year, man. A little over a year.
It feels longer.
Maybe a year and a month because Instagram did
with the
little story. Right. So it's been a year, but it feels like longer just because we kind of just click like that. But you know, me and Tevin have both poured into each other's business in different ways, you know, and as homies. And I want to expound on that more later, you know, at the end. But friendship is friendship, business is business. And, you know, when we bring that up, we'll expound on that.
All right.
So, what do we got?
So, you know what? Since Tevin is a guest, he actually has something he wanted to share.
Okay.
You know, he was talking about like horoscopes yesterday when we met, and I just wanted to know like what is his intake? Like, what's your opinion on horoscopes?
What we were talking about yesterday again?
So
Okay,
so like
conversation come?
The conversation went about we were talking about. I think you said your birthday was around something. When's your birthday?
I said Capricorn.
Okay, Capricorn. I was like, oh, you a Capricorn? And then
that face right there.
That's how I went. So, come on, bless the people with your knowledge.
Okay, so look, 'cause like that's the funny thing when people first meet, and you know, I say like I'm a Capricorn, they're like, it's like, well,
right.
like, how did we get to that point? You know, especially like, so do people really believe in it, or you know, do we believe in certain things and then we, you know, take the rest and leave it?
So honestly, like, I try my hardest not to get all wrapped up in the whole horoscope, stars and sun type thing.
It can get real deep.
It can get real deep. But, you know, as much as I try to, like, not get wrapped up in it, I still get wrapped up in it. Because, like I said, I made a face when you was like, Capricorn.
And you didn't even think about it. Yeah, like, nigga, we great people, though. Like,
y'all are.
Yeah, we
like,
great people.
Look, it's crazy. So, the reason why I say I don't like to get all wrapped up in it is because, you know, the idea of telling somebody that this particular group of people who were born between this time and this time, they all got the same, like, personality character.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not.
Okay, so let me ask you this, though. Have you ever read one about yourself and was like, dang, like,
yeah,
that was on point.
Yeah, I have. And then I also read something that's like, oh, I know that's not
it's
me.
A little off,
yeah, I know that's not me. But you know what? Okay, I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
And y'all can tell by this conversation that they're the ones who's really into horoscopes. I'm gonna jump in at some point. Go ahead.
All right. Anyway, so like I said, I'm a Virgo, so I know a lot of other Virgos, and it's like, the ones that I met, it's either I love them or I can't fucking stand them. Like, excuse my French. But
I mean, hey, that's just raw emotion.
So it's just like we don't all act the same because, you know, this Virgo might act a little different. This one, you know, it's whatever it is. So I kind of find it hard to believe that whatever, you know, your sign is, that's exactly how you're gonna act. So, you know, like I said, I try not to, but you know.
But you know what though, like, because even for me, like when we talk about like perfect matches, so I'm a Capricorn. They say Capricorns and Scorpios are like perfect match, and when I do meet Scorpios, it's like they love me. Yeah, like it's this nice mesh. So I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Are Capricorns and Leos and Capricorns, are they right next to each other, or is that Leo and Cancer?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know the order. I always have to look it up. Like,
got you. No, because it's funny. Hey, look, man. Look, I don't believe in horoscopes, y'all. One bit. But I believe, not at all. I believe more. Look, there's. I'll say this: it's uncanny little things that I guess might be similar to you. That's what they list, but I don't know, man. I feel like there's too many people in the world. People are a lot more complicated. But with that being said, right, I'm a Leo. And, you know, when I meet people, they'll say, oh, yeah, I've seen, like, the typical Leo or whatever.
You know,
don't do that.
Wait, you see what you said?
You see?
Because it's funny because, like, my notes, I wrote about, like, Leos. That was the only sign I chose. And I talked about Leos and how a lot of people think that y'all are arrogant.
So, and that's mostly from being misunderstood. Like, I can listen to how somebody talks and what place they're coming from, and determine, oh, this person is cocky, or they're just really confident.
Really, very,
And it's
a fine line.
And
it really is.
Yeah, and me personally, I just feel like a lot of times most people who will throw the cocky word around are really insecure about something in themselves. And so you come off as cocky, but they really wish they could feel as confident or whatever.
So you're saying like they're compensating because of that. So
I feel like it's Well, no. I'm saying some people who throw that word cocky around.
Oh, I got you.
There is more of an insecurity in themselves.
I got you.
Yeah,
it makes. That makes sense, actually.
Yeah, and sometimes it is the other way around. A person really is, but I don't know. It's like when you understand yourself and know where your passion comes from, you can feel like it's just misunderstood by some. When you just speak in truth of how confident you really are.
Right.
But I don't know. That's, I guess, my plight as a Leo being misunderstood in that whatever. But I mean, it's funny because I'm dating a Scorpio or we're gonna use the word dating because I hate the word talking. Mm-hmm. Dating a Scorpio, and I like to compare horoscopes for fun. You know what I mean? Just because it's there. And it literally says like everything's horrible about our compatibility, like 29%. Yeah. But we straight. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We're like very strong headed. Okay, I don't know if like Scorpio's a strong headed sign. Yeah, they are. But we do have
that moment
this, you know what I mean?
Now I have a question.
What's up?
Do you think like the whole horoscope thing is like a psychological effect? Like, do you think it's all like in our head, really?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like when people do read something or they found something about themselves, they'll subconsciously start to mold their life around it. Not even believe in it, but even more so, even mold their life around it unconsciously. Yeah. Like, it says them like this, and before you know it, you'll start acting more like those traits. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I believe that.
But you know what, though? It's like, okay, especially not the ones like when you read your horoscopes, they tell you day to day what's gonna happen like that. That's just somebody just, you know what I mean? It's like fortune cookies, you know what I mean?
It is like fortune cookies.
And you know what? Fun fact though, I just heard that they have unfortunate cookies. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah. So what is it supposed to wish me bad luck?
Yeah, I was like, well, why would I want that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I wish I would go pay my money at a Chinese place and they tell me, you about to have a bad day tomorrow. Like, what? I wish I would.
Trying to put curses on folks.
Right. That sounds like some voodoo type stuff.
I'm not even going to flex. I hate that my mom went to that stereotype. But that's exactly what I thought. Like voodoo, like Chinese voodoo. Is that what that is? Hey, yo, look.
I'm going to look that up at home. Chinese voodoo.
We love everybody. We just don't know.
Yeah, that's facts.
Nah, but,
Wait, so mind if I ask you a question?
What's up?
So you said something just a second ago, and I was like, okay. You said the dating. You don't like the word talking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, no, because
it's different stages.
It's funny, because.
But what are those stages? Because I feel like everybody, and especially this generation, like we have like this big misconception of like
dating.
Yeah.
We were supposed to talk about that for Valentine's Day. I had this whole
spiel.
She said
I had
a whole, file and everything dedicated. I was ready.
Man, she was finna go on that.
I was finna go in. Just because like me personally, I feel like with our generation, communication is the key, but we don't use it a lot. Right. So it's like, a lot of people with these relationships, 9 times out of 10 they fail because we're not communicating what we want. And, we're just not communicating right. So, I mean, I'm kind of glad that he cleared that up. Like, we're not talking, we're dating.
Facts. And I think it's heavily dependent on your age and what your mindset is as well. Because, I was talking to my roommate yesterday, too. But he's like 21, 22. And, he was telling me about, his dating situation and everything. I'm not going to get into this stuff. But I could just tell from our conversation and where I'm at, it's like, oh yeah, I was there too. That's where my mindset was. And that's why I use that language. Like at this age, 26? 27.
22.
But she's in the most committed relationship, so.
I am.
And she's beyond her years. But I think, okay, so at this age, it's like this, right? You can't be, if you're dating just to date or not serious, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. You're too old for that.
Facts.
So at this point, it's like, okay, if I'm seeing somebody, that period of us getting to know each other, going out on dates, whatever, to me, that is the dating period. That's called dating. You know what I'm saying? It's just dating. Now, once hey, yo, you my girl. Like, now it's a relationship. No, but seriously, that's a relationship, like girlfriend, boyfriend, or courting.
There you go.
Okay,
that's what I was about to say.
Relationship or courting,
We're
which
courting
is
each other.
in which that should be practiced for marriage, right? And then engagement, and then marriage. So it's 4 stages in my mind. Now, I think when you're younger, at maybe 22, whatever, in college, you use talking more so, just because
you don't want to seem so heavy.
Yeah, and then at that point, you probably still dating talking to multiple people at one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's an intimidating thing for it subconsciously. I think for a lot of people around that age. And
I feel like it's just really maturity, right? So like when we were kids, we didn't have this thing of like, I want it all, right? I want all of these pieces. And you realize as you get older, you're like, you know what?
I don't think I want
I really just need this piece right
there
here.
You go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, having all of this is daunting, it's draining. It doesn't really, help me.
Tevin,
I want to say something,
the illest
but
Red Lobster date of the century. No. Nah, yo, Tevin this is a clean man. Yo, we be going to places like Cigarros. Some of us and the homies. Well, they invited me. You know what I mean?
Nah, definitely.
I'm like the newest one to the crew. Their crew, So.
Well, you know what? It's either smooth places like the Red Phone Booth. Have you ever been?
Nope.
Have you heard of that?
No.
Oh, man.
It's a speakeasy, literally. Like, you have to go to the Red Phone Booth, open it up. With the
rotary.
rotary phone, you have to type in the password.
Yeah.
If you do not get it right, you're not getting it.
You know what? I want to say.
So you gotta know somebody.
You gotta know somebody.
I think my boyfriend, he has this podcast. His co-host, I think they were saying something about that. It was like, he said he went somewhere and it was, you have to use this whole code. I'm like, it sounds fun, but like, what if he was like on some drunk stuff? You can't even remember. Like, I don't know.
No, I hear you on that, man.
But it sounds cool.
No, it's definitely nice. When you go in, it's nice. It really is nice.
It's a like that boss kind of feel.
Yeah.
Honestly, it feels like one of those places that you'll see in like 007.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
yeah.
where they, Atlanta style. What you got for us next?
So, y'all know this whole breakout with this whole coronavirus thing. I just don't know what's going on. Like, everybody just freaking out. If y'all haven't noticed, the price of Lysol then went up. You can't find no masks.
Y'all, we're living in a real like pandemic in a sense. I mean, it's not like Spanish flu level, you know what I mean? Because that's really what took out, I think, what was a quarter of the human population? Was it the Spanish flu or the bubonic plague? I don't know. It's one of those. But back in 1880 something or somewhere around there, it took out like a quarter of the world. But we've had
so
crazy
many,
like
yeah,
this.
Because like just a few years ago, we had the whole swine flu.
I would say we had
then we had
series.
Ebola. Like,
was bird flu a thing?
Yeah.
I've been seeing things that it's starting back up.
Like every year is something different, and it's just like, all right.
But you know what though? It's like history. We're overpopulating a lot of places. So with that overpopulation and how easy it is for us to access, other places, and I'm going somewhere and I'm bringing, like my germs and my whatever to this place where they're foreign to you and your body. You interact with me, your body's like, what is this?
Right.
You have nothing or no way to fight it off, and then you hop on a plane and you bring it right back to the United States. So it's that access, you know what I mean? And that's what's really like messing
Let me
everything up.
ask you: do you think the Earth is overpopulated or we're overpopulating places?
Well,
do you feel like there's enough room? I personally feel like that. There's enough room on the Earth, but we literally make it super dense around cities or areas. Like, there's so much more land
out there.
But
definitely,
deforestation is still an issue.
Yeah.
Too. So there's a trade-off there with deforesting more so.
That is true.
But yeah, that was my topic. To be honest, I was real interested in talking about the coronavirus, mainly because I think there is cause for alarm, and then there's like too much. Like people
the
just
panic.
Like y'all. I want to roast every single one of you I see with a mask.
Why?
Every single one of you I see with a mask. I mean, but you know what it is? what I really realize is, of course, you know, that's not going to protect you from getting it, unless you know your mouth and your nose are really the only things that you're really touching. But if you have it, then maybe that's when you're supposed to. That's how you keep from spreading the coronavirus.
Well, actually,
is that what they said?
Earlier this week we
I have
had
a little article to look up if we need, but go ahead.
Okay, so like I think it was earlier this week. There was someone who went out of the country and came here to Atlanta. I guess they, live here, and they had the coronavirus, and they actually gave it to someone else that was in their household. So what they did was they had to isolate that whole family, like everybody that was in that house. Right? I don't even know.
This is thing going around that black people. I don't know how true that is.
So I looked that up. So I looked that up because it was saying that black people are like immune to the disease or whatever, the virus. And basically what it was saying was that scientists were realizing that a lot of black people weren't getting it. Like, it wasn't us getting it.
Now, is that in Africa or just people?
This is a Chinese doctor.
Yeah.
They so they were going to Africa and stuff, and they were trying to figure out like, why are we not getting it? It's not us. And it's really no like scientific study saying like if it's in our DNA that we just can't get it, but they was just like, they just noticed that black people are not getting the coronavirus. And I'm like, I don't know if it's because we're just not immune to it or just because, black people know how to stay clean.
Let me skim through this.
I think we even said that. We was like, it's funny how the coronavirus and this whole panic is making people do what they're supposed to do anyway.
Hello.
Wash your hands, exercise personal space.
Hello.
And cover your mouth.
That is the funny thing about human nature. Like, it really does have to take us, like stuff like that to really. But let me read through this real quick.
Go ahead.
The new coronavirus causes a little bit more than cough if it stays in the nose and throat, which it does for the majority of people unlucky enough to be infected. Danger starts when it reaches the lungs. 1 in 7 patients develops difficulty breathing and other severe complications, while 6 become critical. These patients typically suffer failure of respiratory and other vital systems and sometimes develop a septic shock, according to a report by last month's Joint World Health Organization's China missions. Let's see, skim. So, a progression from mild to moderate to severe concur very, very quickly, said Bruce who assists Director General who co-led a mission in China that reviewed the data from 56,000 cases, understanding the course of the disease and identifying individuals at greatest risk are critical for optimizing care for a global contagion that's killed more than 3,000. It's over 4,000 people at this point, actually, since this article came out. People since emerging in central China in December. And, just not to beat this article on the ground, we do know what it is, a strain of the cold or the flu, or what is it?
It's a flu.
Okay, it's a flu, right? The funniest thing is, you know what? Is that I was watching a radio show where I saw on, and I also saw on Instagram, but the cleaning products said coronavirus as disinfected, and it's not a new thing. When you look at it first, you automatically think, oh shoot, these people are going hard on the marketing already. But then you realize, wait a minute, I've actually had this for like some months, and then it's like, okay, it actually is there.
That's in Lysol.
But now
human coronavirus.
I haven't researched, right?
Yeah.
But do y'all think it actually does kill the coronavirus, or do you think it's just one of those situations where a company names a whole bunch of things that don't really do what it says it does?
I think it'll be like a 99%.
Yeah, what they say on there.
Because let's say somebody was using Lysol and they still got it. It's always a small percentage, but I honestly don't believe it's 100% killing the coronavirus. Yeah. And like I said, these people are telling us like what to do to prevent the coronavirus, and it's literally what you should have been doing anyway. Like, wash your hands when you go out to the grocery store and stuff. Like, we wash our fruits and we wash our vegetables. Like, even like the containers with the milk and stuff, we wash all that stuff down, because you don't know if somebody went and scratched their nose, scratched their ass, and then went and touched you know, your groceries and stuff, like the door handles, all type of stuff, like Lysol, wash your hands, don't just use sanitizer, like.
It just, like I said, it just makes you more aware of, like, how often you do certain, like.
I've been doing it.
Yeah, I touch my face all the time. So okay, you know, but it's like, all right, let me just.
You do it over 100 times a day.
No, facts. Without even thinking anything about it.
Just did.
Yeah,
but
I was conscious of it that time.
But all it is like, you know, to protect ourselves and to protect the ones around us. Let's practice good hygiene, guys.
Period.
Like,
period.
Wash your hands, soap and water, get between. Like,
get
all in there.
People I've just seen just walk out the bar, literally from the stall.
Oh my god!
Just past me, like I wasn't there. Like, I'm not gonna look at you with a crazy look as you walk out the door because I will obviously do it.
Yeah,
bro. Like, come on, especially when you say you out back in the day when you out, you know. A hole in the wall night or something like that at the Buckhead bars at Edgewood, and you see people walk out these nasty bathrooms, yo.
Literally
nasty bathrooms. I'm talking about the bathroom stall. As soon as you open the door, there's pee leaking out of it.
You in there like this,
bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I mean, bro? And then you burn the jackets later.
He gonna touch the door, like he gonna do everything, and you be like, "Oh, watch him." He like, and I gotta come behind him. I'm like.
I
Yeah,
don't know about that.
Yeah, bro.
You try to catch the door with your foot, like, okay.
Nah, man, but, you know, but one thing, so I was looking up the origin of this virus. It did happen, like, right somewhere in China.
Of course.
Where it just first appeared. And that's how viruses happen. And what they say is that it could have species jumped. And what viruses have, they move among certain species. But they keep mutating and mutating, so
to the point that it gets to you, and now it's something totally different.
Right.
You know what? Do they have a CDC center in China?
I would assume.
I'm not sure. Or
you
their
know,
own
like,
type of CDC.
CDC,
I'm pretty sure
you know,
they have their
have
companies that
every disease, virus, or whatever inside the center. So it's like when we have like these outbreaks, I just be like curious, like, did somebody in the CDC center like?
No, okay, so
I don't know.
Here's the thing people gotta realize, viruses are everywhere. And everywhere, I mean, they're on asteroids, they're on other planets, you know, they're viruses, alien. Yo, they're viruses, if they reached our planet, they'd wipe us out and there's nothing we could do about it. You know what I'm saying? And so what it is, you know, well, okay, so think of it like this, something like that where we think the virus escaped the CDC, right?
Yeah.
Something like this that could actually happen is, okay, climate change is a big part of this, right? And what people don't also realize that there are prehistoric bacteria, viruses, and diseases trapped inside of ice, just like fossils of animals. You know what I mean? As well as deep in the earth's ground. So deforestation can also release a lot of these diseases and viruses into the air. And as well as so where they do research, right, in areas where this ice is, you know, a lot of these places are they're kept away from civilization. Like, you know, nobody can go there. You know, it's quarantined off. And so when they do start doing the research, they have to get, you know, super acid bath or whatever, or what's the word they use? Decontaminated, right?
Yeah.
Before they come back to civilization, because they don't even know if all their technology can detect
everything,
certain things that they might have even, you know, gotten.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a situation where who knows, something could have happened and something got released. But this isn't that. But that can happen. And as it gets warmer and more ice melts and deforestation, I mean, to be honest, like, this is something that we could have multiple viruses and things overlapping. And it's kind of like...
But we've been seeing it. Like, guys...
It's not new, but it's just scary when it's something new that is taking out life. You know what I mean? If the coronavirus didn't happen, there wouldn't be over 4,000 people dead from this. Maybe they would have later down the line died from something else, because we all kind of go. But I can see in that regard, you know, you can be worried about it. It's mostly seniors. It's taking out like older people.
They says the people who really die from this is babies and elderly people because
The immune
there's
systems are weaker.
Exactly. So with us being a good age or whatever, like we have a better
high
chance.
chance of not having anything necessarily happen.
Exactly.
It just hits you more or less like a severe,
like a cold,
yeah.
like a severe flu. I think flu strain A or something like that.
Yeah.
But shoot, the flu kills more people than this does.
Obesity kills more people than
Hella.
The number one cause of death in the United States, heart attack.
Yes.
Kills. I don't even want to get into it, but just figure out your blood type and research that, and
that's a whole.
yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Speaking
of,
you know what? You just said something about climate change, and I want to know what's some things you think that we can actually do to help climate change? Because this whole climate change thing, it can really destroy this planet. Seriously,
that's
something.
That's so
it's funny.
But we need to talk about it.
No, facts.
It's funny because I think most people are climate change is. I feel like people can talk religion and politics have moved into a space where people don't really say excuse me, there's a couple things I never talk about, religion, politics. I don't know, we're in a climate where people are more open to discuss certain things. But I feel like climate change is that one thing that's the elephant in the room, the one thing people don't want to talk about.
I was about to say
because it's that real and it's like a big wave. Think of it as like a big wave, just slow. It's like student loan. It's like student loan mortgage. It's in the back of your mind, and that deferment period.
You said
when you
told you he was at Art Institute.
Let me tell you, when I graduated, and it's that 6-month deferment from when, it's like, okay, I'm having time, but I'm out partying, having a good day. In the back of my mind, this big wave is slowly coming towards my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sleep, I'm working out, feeling good. Boom. And then in the back of my head, student loans are slowly coming towards my life. It's like climate change, it's slowly coming.
But you know what's crazy?
And nobody can avoid it.
You're starting to see seasons kind of phase out. I feel like we really don't get fall or real spring anymore. Not really. You know what I mean?
We haven't had no real winter
either. And it used to get cold.
Snowstorm, for real, in my opinion.
No, facts. Because even now, it was this winter, it was 60, 70 degrees.
You know how many times I heard it was this is supposed to be the year we have the coldest winter ever. I'm like, man, I wore a sundress on Christmas and was hot.
My shirt was off outside.
No, I believe it.
On Christmas. It was. I'm like, y'all, imagine what it's going to be next year, and the next year, and the next year. And, the main cause of all this stuff is CO2 from carbon emissions.
Yep.
And so it's our CO2 level on the Earth is higher than any mass extinction event that's happened in the Earth's billion-old history. You know what I'm saying? And there's about 5 or 6 mass extinction events we know about in the Earth's history. And mass extinctions always had to do with the carbon dioxide level that remained after whatever big thing happened. And so ours is coming up on double overlapping a mass extinction level carbon dioxide. Our level is beyond mass extinction level in a sense. So, and one thing people got to realize too is that what they put on TV is always best case scenario. It's not the best. It's not the true. When they show stats and things like that, and show things about climate change, they never show how bad the situation really is. Of course. They always show what the best case scenario is, because to be honest, they say I remember the beginning of 2020, the UN said we have 10 years to fix the Earth's biodiversity. In a lot of retrospects, there's certain things that we wouldn't be able to come back from that are happening. I do think if some major way we're able to start cleaning the carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, which we've actually had machinery and stuff that are being built and working on doing that, we can reverse stuff. But
so do you think it's actually reversible?
It can be, but the only unrealistic thing with that is human nature.
Well,
and it is we gonna actually do it, because it said that, if we really just had one day where nobody drove a car, drove a car, the whole Earth's biodiversity, the Earth would actually have time to reset its biodiversity and clean the CO2.
But that's what I'm saying. So like there's one of those situations where like that's a global, thing. We have to come together globally and say, how do we fix
the United Nations, that's all the nations together. You'll release your statement. So it's like,
but that's so hard to get every one of these guys to really fall into one accord on something like that. Everybody has different opinions on it. Some people think it's not that serious.
It's mostly the older folk, the people who feel like they probably not going to be here when things get bad.
And that's so terrible.
Look, things are looking to get really bad within the next 10 years, okay? You still might be here to experience that. So it's just a matter of people owning these oil companies, and it's really more than 20 top oil and gas companies that are really doing this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so if these places, extreme measures are being taken in certain areas. In other countries, it's Fridays for Freedom hashtag has been started, where every Friday all the kids just walk out of their schools and protest for climate change. This happening everywhere, big countries. I follow CNN Climate on Instagram or whatever, and they show a lot of stuff. And Leonardo DiCaprio, he's an activist. And I'm not no activist, y'all. I just like to be aware and try to live my life aware in ways and just say other people. But and so y'all. It's just we gotta there are a lot of things that's gotta be done to really do reversals. But
I got a question.
Everybody on the same page, like you said.
So I just read this scientist was saying that if we start eating insects, that it can actually eating insects would actually save our planet.
That sounds wild at first, but
the
only thing I can think of how that would is because it would cause us to eat animals less. Yeah, and the thing about animals is that a lot of species are going extinct, and it with letting up the demand on animals, like that would also. Animals are a part of the Earth's biodiversity. Right. Literally everything depends on each other. If whale hunting never became a thing, our carbon dioxide levels would be so much lower on the Earth. Like the whales themselves clean up mad carbon dioxide just from the seas in how they live life. And so just them getting closer and closer to extinction is also, of course, contributed to how high the carbon dioxide. Just one animal. Yeah, one animal.
I mean, but that's then like cows if bees went off the face of the earth, then we wouldn't have any plants.
Yeah,
at all.
To an extent too.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just say y'all, whatever goals and plans that you have in life, just of course keep stuff like this and just taking care of your life and the earth around you in mind, because you can have your plans, but if this go up, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Right. But anyways, what we got?
Actually, I got some tips for the climate change. Let me just know if you agree with them, okay? So I think the first thing is, since we got the presidential election coming up, that we need to actually look at what each candidate how they feel about the whole climate change and what's something that's actually feasible for them to do. I don't want you to lie to me we're gonna do that. No, what's feasible? What's something that I actually believe that y'all be able to do?
What's your plan?
There you go.
Let's see it.
Another one. Use energy wisely. We just had somebody, I'm not going to point fingers to, but they was just turning up the thermostat, So we got to be careful with the energy we use as far as, change our light bulbs to the energy efficient light bulbs, right. Unplug your devices. Me personally, you can judge me, but I'm cheap. If I'm not using it, I'm unplugging it. I don't want no high energy bill. I'm sorry.
You my grandmother, she was like that, yeah. She would just...
if we ain't watching TV, unplug
it. Those things will heat up an entire room, too.
I'm trying to tell you, if, in my household, we wasn't allowed to turn on the light unless it was, pitch dark. I don't play that. Like I don't want no high bills, so I unplug everything. So I'm helping out.
She talking about yeah.
I'm helping out. Let's not use dryers. Like hang your clothes up instead. Can you see yourself doing that?
Yo, fun fact, really quickly.
What's popping?
In the military, that just brought back some like.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We used to have to hang dry everything. We be in the field, middle of nowhere. You have to wash your clothes, literally. In the pot and hang it and hope that it doesn't rain.
Yep.
Because then it gonna smell like mildew tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Would you do it?
What?
Save our planet, not use
use a dryer anymore.
Man, I don't know about that. That's see. We need things that are a little bit more realistic for the general public.
But hold on, it is realistic. Get you a clothes hang line on the porch.
Yo, but the thing
Get you
is,
some
people are
pins.
lazy. Like the thing is, whatever we have to do has to still fit convenience in a sense.
But convenience is killing our planet, Brandon.
We gotta find balance. You know, one thing.
He just talking about climate change.
He's like, well, wait, I need to be convenient.
Wait.
But
I gotta use my car.
Here's the thing, though. That's the thing, you guys. One thing about it is we have to find balance because we have to talk about what is people gonna do realistically, like together. You know what I mean? Like I really don't think most people are gonna not use dryers. And,
I mean, it's
maybe when it gets hot enough outside to where that's just an easy thing for yo. You know what I mean?
But you know what?
I feel like it's well. Me personally, I feel like it's easy. Going to my great grandma's house. Oh, okay.
Do you want water?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Thank you. But like going to my great grandma's house in Ohio, she only had a washing machine, so she would wash it and then we'll have to go outside and go hang it up. Mm-hmm. And pray it don't rain. So it's like if I had to do that today, I wouldn't mind because I literally spent my whole childhood doing that.
But I ain't gonna lie to you. That's like
she's from Alabama.
Sir, that was in Ohio. Get it right. Get it right.
Hey, I go with my folks in Alabama. Right. I got family out there too.
Right. Hold up. Good water, silicaga, stop playing.
But you know what, bro? You know how much clothes we really have? Like now I'm thinking about it. I have a lot of clothes. I hate folding clothes.
Would you? Okay, so I got a question. To save our planet, would you?
See, but that's.
Oh, you got this big stupid cup.
Nah, facts.
Thank you. But okay, so like in order to save the planet, would you be able to wear clothes more than one time and hang up your clothes after they get done washing?
I mean, definitely. Like that's a big trade-off. So you're like, oh yeah, save the planet. Yeah, I can.
Things about work and like obligation, responsibilities, like. There would have to be a common knowledge or common understanding just amongst people in the world, because that's one thing that's going to be a little bit more time consuming, right? Exactly. And there's of course going to be a lot of other things that we can do that's going to take more time. You know what I mean? And I mean when you just think about how more overpopulated Atlanta is getting, and traffic and stuff there, like you just got to think like. That's where I feel like the hard realistic thing is because people still have their individual life problems and so they forget about everything else, because life is right there in their face right then.
But you brought up a good point. You said time. Yeah. We technically don't know when our time is up, and the one thing it's almost like when somebody says don't ask for a loan when you need it. Yeah. So you don't want to say it's here now. What do we do to fix it?
Right.
So we don't know when that timetable. Like say, let's just say something broke out of the ice tomorrow, and the virus just escaped out, and then now we're really on the brink. Like,
it's airborne.
Yeah, and now everybody's really like, it's not just a panic; it's real. You know what I mean? So it's like we do need to figure out some type of way. And I say, we have time to just develop, something because we really don't know.
We don't have time is not like. Promise us.
Yeah.
So we have to do something like now.
Shout out to being blessed to wake up this morning.
Segue into like just things in 2020. Like I think if anything, 2020 has been teaching the world. Honestly, it's from 2019 to 2020 is mortality.
Yes.
You see, of course, Nip.
Rest in peace.
You see, Kobe and his daughter Gianna.
That hurt.
And
that hurt.
That did.
The 8 victims, all 8 victims. It's a lot. I mean, Pop Smoke, popular hip hop artist. Excess Tentacion, you got Juice WRLD. These are popular music artists, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And you just see, I mean, you know, man, mortality is here, so you gotta really just be thankful for the day that you got, you know.
No, facts.
But yeah, how was that day for y'all? What were you doing? What happened
when Kobe?
You found out about?
When Kobe died, I was actually cooking breakfast, and I had to go to the grocery store. And, like, this random lady, like, ran up on me. Like, I was like, bro, what the fuck? And she was like, did you hear what happened to Kobe? I'm like, nah.
Just random. Like,
yeah,
okay.
Like, she ran up on me, like, with
that's the most
big
unconditional way to find out. Just a stranger say, hey, did you know Kobe died?
Yeah, and I was
wow.
like, what happened? She was like, he died. I'm like, sis.
Nah, shut up.
Yeah.
Girl, bye. Like, don't you ever play with Kobe like that. And then I went home and I looked at it and I was like, damn, Kobe died. And then, like, a few minutes later, it was like, Gigi died.
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh, like, that's deep.
Nah, so I'm on the couch, right? You know, enjoying my day. And Miguel actually hits me. And he sends, you know, the link to me.
Miguel always sends me
He be
stuff.
on it.
Yeah.
So he was like, you think, like, is this real or fake? I was like, man, come on now. You know, because at that time, it wasn't everywhere yet. So I'm like, bro, Kobe.
Most people have that first
Kobe.
reaction.
Like, Kobe, come on. And then it just poured in like a wave. Like, Instagram just went nuts. Twitter went nuts. And like you said, the story really started to develop.
It's just like a wave that you're already caught in, too.
Yeah.
Like, when you really think about, like, one moment, when you see that, it's like, okay, like, you have a denial moment. And then you just start scrolling. It's like, wait a minute, I'm already in this, this current with everybody.
Yeah,
like, man.
I thought it was a lie.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to remember exactly. Like, I think I was out somewhere. And this was on a Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to say I went to church this day, and it was afterwards. I was going to I think I was coming back home to meet a client, and yeah, I was just seeing on the internet, and I think I was still in the car, pulled over, you know, was looking at stuff, and you know, said a little prayer, and yeah, man, felt it a little bit. Like, that was like, wow, yo. I definitely had my Kobe jersey when I was a kid. And I'm not even going to flex like I'm a big basketball fan.
Oh, okay.
Like basketball fan, you know, like watching basketball all the time. But obviously, you know, I've watched, you know, big games, things like that. I've seen Kobe play. As a kid, I did watch sports, you know, on TV a lot more. So, you know, you, of course, felt the impact because you just know the motivation that, you know, he gave. Yo, I'm looking at interviews, you know, with him talking with Kendrick, you know, to you know, certain things that he's saying. And you hear certain stories of how determined he was to be the best at things, especially if you watch the funeral.
No, facts.
You know, and hearing stories like that are like, yo, people don't live. People aren't built like that.
No.
In every single thing they do, they just decide, yo, I'm gonna be the best.
But you know what's crazy is like you said, he really took on this in different things as well, like in life in general. Because as soon as he got done with the NBA, he wrote, you know, a short series, which he won, an Oscar for, correct? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, so, and that's the part that really hits hard, is because it's like he had made a successful transition outside of basketball and was starting to live his life, you know what I mean, away from what got him this you know, elusive fame. And it's like, all right, just as he was getting his feet ready, and what was he gonna do next? And the Mamba Academy, that sports, you know what I mean? He was really building something, and then it's like, dang, you know?
Yeah, man, using his legacy. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, using his legacy and the wealth he's accumulated for that to help people, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to build up women's basketball.
And he was,
like
you know what I mean? Like, with his daughter, and the crazy thing is, like, I just knew she was going to be a monster, right? I was just waiting to see what she was going to do on that level. And you could already see how women and you know, they already knew she was coming.
Inspiration she was coming from,
They knew she was coming and what she was going to do to basketball, like kind of like her father. I feel like she's going to have that level of impact on the game. And she even did, you know, at that age. And that's crazy as well.
Yeah, man. Nah, you're right. Go ahead, Mimi.
So I was going to ask y'all, like, how do y'all feel about the whole Gayle King and Leslie interview? Because, you know, that was
out of pocket.
wild.
She out of pocket. Look, Conversations are to be had, you know what I'm saying? But timing is a concept people got to understand. Timing and respect, like that's a conversation. Yeah, I mean you can have that. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, everything is a part of your legacy. But when things are just happening and things are just fresh, and people aren't buried yet, and you know, it's a time when you just look at the positive. Like it's just an unspoken like moral code that you should have to not speak ill of the dead, and.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even cold yet.
And I mean, at the end of the day, they're dead. I mean, what can you do about it? Anything that you want, like, really think about the psychology behind it. Anything that you want to pull out of that, or the negativity you want to pull out of a dead person, is only because you want some type of validation for yourself. Like, it's a selfish thing. There's something in you that you want to hear from somebody or get from that person that maybe you felt that they didn't get what they deserve when they were here. That's selfish validation you want for whatever, you know what I mean? And that's what I saw in that interview. But yeah, like, you know, maybe, you know, she's on her, I don't know, whatever. But it's just one of those situations where it's like, for one, yeah, that's a black man, you know, you tripping, you know what I mean? You already see how the media does with black folk. They're dead. Yeah. So like I said, that's a conversation that maybe could have been had some way down the line. But
I don't agree with you.
I feel like it should have been said.
Everything was absolved. I'm not saying like her or whatever, but I'm saying as far as like if you're gonna be on your show and you're gonna talk about, for one, it's wrong to even have that as like your main commercial thing to come in and like that's nasty. That's real nasty. But I'm saying that's a conversation, like, say, maybe behind closed doors, maybe with your people, whatever you felt about whether you believed everything, which, I mean, like, everything was absolved. I mean, the case was trash as far as no evidence. So, really, there aren't grounds to even talk about it in the media like that at all. But I do think, if you're going to talk about it, yeah, you have the right to talk about it in your own space, in your own whatever, but you are putting on media where other people can see, where the family can see, where you're influencing other people that are still grieving, haven't even got to a point of understanding, which just haven't to even start grieving yet. You know, they're still in denial. So it's just like, when I'm talking about time, I'm talking about where you put that in, where you're discussing it as well.
Okay.
You know, but go ahead.
Like, how do you feel about it?
I feel like there's no place for it at all. You know what I mean? Not even, truthfully, not even in your own, you know, personal. Because at the end of the day, it was so long ago. You know what I mean? Again, the justice system took care of it. You know, it solved itself. It was done. And just why? You feel me? Like, literally, why? Why would you bring it up at this point in time? Period.
No, of course, I feel like that for myself personally. But I'm just talking from a point of view as like, freedom of speech. At the end of the day,
definitely.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can't tell
like, people are going to talk anyway, so I'm just saying, if you're going to talk about it, which, I mean, yeah, it's still something that happened, whatever, but even though it didn't really happen, that's for closed doors. Like, do all your little nasty gossip stuff behind closed doors. Like you just went and ruined your image. You know what I'm saying? And now Oprah's image is in question too because she's attached to the situation.
Honestly, Oprah and Gayle have like this hidden agenda to destroy black men.
They've
been doing it. But y'all are friends with Harvey Weinstein. Thank God he just got arrested too. But anyway, like they have an agenda to destroy black men. Like, I feel like they deserve that backlash. Do you think it's they have an agenda or they're being used? Do you think it's they literally just have an agenda? They could be getting used because, like, look at the platform that Oprah is on. You don't think she had to do something to get there? I mean, hard work and stuff, yeah, but it's just like I'm not gonna assume because of black one. I personally don't like to make the assumption that because a black person is power, they had to do something or it's Illuminati or whatever. Like. I'm not saying that because look at Tyler Perry and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is the agenda. Like, look at how they do their interviews and who they really attack.
Well, I'm not gonna flex. I don't watch their stuff, so I wouldn't really know like that. But all I'm saying is the perspective I'm coming from is do you think in their mind they have an agenda toward directly black men, or whatever powers that be or whatever app channels they're using are more so using them with their suggestions or what's in their contract or whatever, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain people in power can be more so used for whatever that person's agenda is behind what they're doing.
The person, yeah.
Or,
well, I mean, but I feel like,
I feel like it's an agenda towards men in general, like black men more, of course, over everything. But I do feel like there's a agenda towards males in general.
Nope.
I do think more so towards black men, but I think
because
males,
they would have talked about that ad guy who was giving HIV to all these women. They would have talked about him. They would have talked about Harvey Weinstein. Like they would have talked about multiple other men who's been doing crazy stuff out here. Okay. You don't hear about that. They quiet.
Well, I'll say this: as far as in media and stuff, I of course I see black men like that. But if I'm looking on social media, the social media is another world of itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think I think it still looks like men in general. Like, I don't know, like, you know, like the word toxic is being thrown around at every single thing, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, it's like living in South Florida, opening the door for a girl was taboo to a girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm independent. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
I remember
get your
that
toxic male energy off of me, thinking I can't do things for myself. Like, I don't know. I feel like certain things and rhetorics have been taken and just ran with. And now it's in, I think, I don't know, like, it's like, okay, like things that men are doing, like, I think there's a spotlight more on women, black women. Maybe that's another way you can look at it. Not necessarily a agenda towards men, but more of a spotlight on women or black women in this time and age, just where they are in business and their statistics and the great things that they're doing. So I do think there's an overshadowing of a lot of things black men things are doing. I've been watching Romeo Miller and Master P make their run with their rap snacks and noodles and all their great stuff.
And that's a great run.
Shout out to sour cream with a dab ranch.
Our culture doesn't look at stuff like that. You know, like a father and son, black father. That's an anomaly.
Yeah, no fact.
If I'm a child, star, streets. Honestly, they got one of the greatest stories I feel like in the
I was about to say that.
But we don't look at stuff like that.
We don't highlight stuff like that.
You know, we don't highlight stuff like that. So I feel like, I don't know, you know, and we'll talk about Jeff, y'all. But when we had Jeff and stuff like that, y'all see, like, while I had my certain tones and he had his certain tones. Even though we agreed at the end of the day, I just wanted to I like to have an even pour into the male and, you know,
female perspective type. Yeah, I got you.
But go ahead.
All right, so guys, y'all know it's tax time, right? Y'all filed your taxes yet?
I have not. I need to.
I'm literally still in the middle of my TurboTax.
Okay.
I just put all my income and doing all my expenses.
Facts.
And all that, trying to get that, right off.
So, it kind of kills me, like, how everybody, like, there's a percentage of people who get, like, really excited about taxes. Like,
I really don't.
They already know what they about to get. They about to ball out. Everybody about to look rich for this little month, and then they right back to eating oodles and noodles.
Not the oodles and noodles.
Oodles.
That's people. That's mostly people with an LLC. I feel like, because it's like you can almost write off kind of almost everything around it.
That
some people
and people
too.
with kids, like.
Oh, okay, you get more money.
Man, I be a little mad. I'll be like, dang, you get 8-9 racks back, man. You only work part time.
Give me 9 racks back, man.
Can I get 1,000 back?
What? You get 1,000?
I do.
I
wasn't trying to put my money out there, man. Count my pockets.
I was putting my tax stuff in, and I put my information in, and this is before I even thought, like, oh shit, I can write other stuff off. And that thing said you owe $4,000 back and blah blah blah. I had to call somebody, bro. I was like, yo, mom, what's up? Like,
you gonna fail me?
She's like, well, yo, have you wrote it and stuff like your rent, your gas, I'm like, oh shoot, like this is other stuff, and that start to overlap, whatever.
Okay.
And so, one thing I suggest to everybody is, even if you don't even really have a business, just register one. Just create an LLC, because as long as you have a bank account, you know what I mean, with that business, and you're having deposits, having some type of revenue, like you can write things off.
But you know what?
I mean, for that.
Truthfully,
but honestly though, you can't be lying on it. The
facts. They will come,
and it's over with. You know what I'm saying? So be honest.
I was just like, okay, because I'm actually in the middle of trying to get my LLC for my business, so I'm trying to do a lot of research. Because I'm like, when I talk to my family, most of them have businesses, and they like, man, the taxes got me, and I'm just like, no, it ain't getting me. That's why I'm doing my research. So I'm glad you said that.
So what?
But no, like, okay, so I wanted to talk to y'all about the whole tax time because, I see a lot of people, they blow through their taxes. And it's just like, okay, if we're going to get this lump sum of money or whatever you getting, why don't we find something else to, like, get us more money?
Yeah.
Let's buy income. And when I say, like, what I mean by buy income is, make that money to get more money, know? So you can, like, go get a rental property and just Airbnb it. Mm-hmm. Or, like, invest into the stock market, start a business, like, do something where you going to see that money again. Mm-hmm. I'm just tired of seeing, like, people going to the mall, getting these brand new J's, and then you going out to Benihana. You don't got no Benihana money. Like, what? Thank you.
No,
you good, thank you.
I was trying to, but it was, it just never seemed like the right moment.
Our YouTube viewership is going to love what just happened. Hey, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or
anyway,
you didn't think you're not going to catch it.
Y'all not going to. No! Anyway,
yeah, I'm just sitting.
You do it like 20 minutes, like.
We're just gonna cut that part out. But look.
Oh man, no.
Let me make sure I'm good. But anyway, so I'm just tired of people, blowing through their tax money. Like, we need to find some different ways for us to, not just look rich, but let's
we gotta
get there.
Decisions,
we gotta get rid of that looking. Like, don't stop trying to be the man, but just be
Keep
the man.
Up with the Jones.
Just be you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, the thing is people compare too much. When they look at what other people got, things like that, they,
But we in this age now where, like, literally, like, Instagram, like, you're scrolling and you're always constantly, subconsciously comparing yourself to somebody.
You gotta put down the phone sometimes, man. I just tell people, like, yo.
But you know what? Not even really. You just have to really filter who you follow.
Oh,
that is so true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're choosing
all day long, yo. I mute people all day long. That mute feature,
I love it.
Okay, I'm not gonna unfollow you because I really don't want to get that annoying inbox saying that you think our friendship
is over now because I don't follow you.
Like, stop.
I just don't like the content on your page.
Yeah.
Like, we're not
I
cool.
don't have those problems.
What?
About, I don't follow you.
No, facts with a heart. No,
I'm honestly tired of some booty shaking on my page.
Somebody said twerking was out there. Meek Mill, he was like, twerking is just overrated now.
Romeo Miller too. Yeah, I was looking at what you was saying. Yeah, man. Like, honestly, but you know what it is?
What?
It's not it for the young kids. It might not. Like, think about it. We just grew up with it around when it just became the thing, so we're tired of seeing it.
Facts.
I don't know. Maybe these people in high school, whatever, like stuff like that, might stay alive because the young folk that is getting to that age is now. We getting into all that now. So I don't know. Like,
what's young folks to you?
Right.
People in high school, middle school. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like as time's gone by, kids are getting exposed to things earlier in life now.
Exactly.
So stuff will always be kept alive. Certain things like that by the youth. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Like, if it's not that, something else new is coming. You know what I mean? That folk gonna get tired of.
But you know what's crazy, bro? I remember I was in a class, man, and a girl, had her daughters with her, and they over there, on YouTube watching stuff. Mm-hmm. And I remember I just kind of peeked over, man, and like they were legit watching like straight music videos, and these are like young girls, maybe like 8, 9, and they're watching, you know what I'm saying, women legitimately do this. So like they're looking at it like, oh, that's the thing, right? And again, if you're looking around with that being everywhere at that young age, you like girls look at things like that's what women are. Like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? It's okay apparently because everybody does it. So they grow up with that mentality like, oh yeah.
Yo, excuse my French. There's a really popular music video, "Bitch Bad" by Lupe, that literally depicts what he's talking about. Y'all should look that up. Lupe Fiasco.
Yes.
We should put that in the comment thing. But okay, so I actually want to go back to the quote of the day. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Yes. Okay.
Reflect on it.
Yo,
you know.
Well, before I think, you want to see if I can get Jeff on the speaker real quick?
Yeah.
Let me call him real
Guys,
quick.
we didn't even tell you.
So gotta watch this entire video to get to this part to see the big mystery why Jeff isn't here.
What happened to
before we
Jeff?
even do that, let me see if I can call him and he end up on the phone. Hold up.
You don't want to tell him what's going on, or you want Jeff to tell him?
Nah, let's see if we can get Jeff.
All right. You guys, full government name Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey Fit Flavors, because that's his
Jeffrey.
Let me see. He might be in the gym or something. I don't know.
I don't think we'll be able to get Jeff on the phone.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe not. But
your call has been forwarded.
Yeah.
We'll probably get him next time. But yeah, so y'all, Jeff, Jeff basically, he's, as y'all may or may not remember, but he is married, he has a family, and, of course, got to make decisions as a family.
Mm-hmm.
And, so him and his wife, they relocated, to Ohio to start their, their new life together. They're, around, both of their families a little bit better, and this is a real convenient thing. So, I'm pretty sure other married people know how much easier life can be when you're around family and commuting and stuff like that. So it's just a real smart decision. About excellence is understatement. I mean, I had always had the idea of having a podcast, but Jeff really brought this, idea to fruition. He was the one who came to me, hey man, I have an idea, we should do something like a podcast, man. And we were talking about it and, talking about bringing on somebody, and then that's when, I put the little Instagram post out, and Mimi hit me up, and then we got everything together, and then I had my little wake up at 3 a.m. where I jotted down 1 million names, and we all settled on excellence is the understatement. And, and that's, where we're at now. That's why we kind of been on a little hiatus, as well as because
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and really with the beginning of the year coming in, everybody just has a lot going on. And so we all need the time to kind of get our lives cool and we came back and we had a meeting and we're talking everything about, bringing on guests to see, who would definitely be a good fit, for us. And I automatically thought of my boy Tevin here. Great dude, I know, real bright mind. Jeff is an irreplaceable dude, and just so y'all know, Jeff will always be a part of this podcast in some type of way. Y'all might see him at some point, pop back up, and, we've even discussed, that he's always going to be a part of whatever, he's
always
whatever traction or blessings we got out of this, Jeff always has to be a part of that. And just keep that in mind in business, you guys, and everything with just keeping and with friends and stuff, is just be fair, man. Friendships don't have to die over business. You know what I mean? And this isn't even business. This at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is something fun that we're just doing to educate and really pour and give ourselves to the community.
The awareness.
And so, I mean, Tevin, I think we had a great podcast. Today.
I'd like to say so.
Tevin is y'all drop a comment, man. I think y'all like Tevin. Drop a comment. Tell us what y'all think about the podcast and our symmetry and stuff. And hopefully, we can see Tevin, back here.
Definitely.
And that really good segue into the quote of the day. Where I say like I said, I just looked this up. Friendship is friendship. Business is business. The way I look at that is, and where I was connecting that with me and Tevin. You know, me and Tevin, we had like met like a little over a year ago. And you know, it's rare where I think there's not many people or people that are going towards success. Their group of friends are going to be people that they could even potentially work with or do business with, just because they've got that same kind of mindset. And me and Tevin, you know, we met at the Red Phone booth. That's the first time we met.
Yeah, that was the first time.
And you know, my boy Miguel, you know, invited me, and that's where we met, and we connected on. You know, we're both graphic designers. You know, he was telling me about his Chance LLC, you know, game. And I was telling him about my children's books and stuff like that, and training. You know, we connected on the training tip. You know, and Tevin is a real leader, you know, mindset person, and I say that because, you know, in this training business, you realize, yo, most of your clients are going to be women, and that's because most men have too much ego and pride to even like work out with somebody in a trainer like that. And you know, Tevin is definitely. Oh wait, pause, you guys. Hold up. Hold that thought. I'm gonna forget. Hold that thought. Jeffrey's calling back. Yo, Jeff, what up? You're tuned into the Excellence is an Understatement Podcast.
Oh man, how you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. What was going on, man? We had just we had caught you, and we just told the podcast a little bit about you taking up and moving to Ohio, and you know you got our blessing with the podcast, and you know you're doing your thing. Just talk a little bit about what's up and what's going on, how things came about.
Yeah, so you know this happened out of nowhere, to be honest with you. And I think like on the past few podcast talks that we had, I had mentioned something about you know, missing the family, wanting to be closer to family. And you know how serious I take that. Family is everything to me. Yeah, so,
man, y'all should see his comments on my Facebook statuses. Yeah. Go see your family.
Let's not talk about it. So you know, Christmas kind of solidified everything for us, me and my wife. For my wife and I, we realized that, you know, being far away from family, especially at this building stage for us, it was something that we were missing. And we made the decision to go ahead and move. And it happened so fast as we flew down to the location just to check it out. And upon coming back, we signed the lease to a place. So it just happened that fast. And then following 2 weeks, we were, you know, pretty much transitioning down here. So, yeah, so that's how it happened. And I'm extremely happy to be here right now. We're still building, but it's very nice out here.
Yeah, man. Well, shoot, man, it's really great to hear from you and to hear that, you know, things are doing well for you. Me and Mimi were talking about, what was it you said, Mimi, about how you felt when you saw him on his stuff on Instagram?
Nobody want to see that shit. Come back. No, just playing. I'm sorry, Jeff. No, we do miss you, though, but we always wish you the best.
Oh, definitely. I really appreciate it, and I wish you guys the best too. And the people that's listening, you know, they're in good hands. You guys are taking care of them, and you guys are very, very good with what you're doing, and you know, so you guys will be able to provide some good points and some good solutions to all. So, you know, I'll be tuned in too. So,
yeah, man, and just to, you know, I mean, even though it's so early in this whole podcast thing, right? I think it's important to literally say the phrase, give you your flowers right now. Just because, you know, even if, say, us in our minds had ideas or thoughts of having a podcast, you were the one who still initially made the first move, which was, you know, toward me with the idea. And so, you know, of course, we know we wouldn't be, you know, here doing this, you know, for people and stuff if you hadn't come up with the idea. And you already know, like I told you, bro, and whatever we do, you're always going to, of course, be included in whatever blessings is received. You know what I mean? And, hey, we'll probably call you here and there on maybe certain podcasts to get you your mind on certain topics, as well.
Absolutely. I look at it, more of it's a team thing for me. I think, our ideas together pretty much formed this group, formed the podcast, and couldn't do it without you guys. We couldn't start without, Mimi and you, of course. And, I got to give you guys thanks for not only, keeping up and being on time, even when I was late. But thank you guys for kind of exposing me to new things, because it's always good to hear something in a different light, in a different perspective. So being around you guys and seeing things, in a different light, definitely it was an eye opener. And man, it's amazing. So I look forward to that some more.
No, most definitely. I'm gonna see how we can figure out too, like whenever we do get you to time in on a podcast for our YouTube viewership. If somehow, say you do a FaceTime and your face pop up in the side or something,
we're gonna be fancy.
We're gonna figure out technology. But yeah, we got my boy. I can't remember. I feel like I introduced you guys one time, maybe when I was training. Okay, yeah, my boy Tevin here, and he's just here, rocking with us today. So
Awesome, man. Hey, nice to. Well, I'm not there to shake your hand, but
you did it in spirit.
Hey, Brandon, why don't you give him a handshake to me, man?
You know what I'm saying? Cool.
That was nice and firm, Jeff.
Right, man.
You've been proud of that.
You got anything else for us though, Jeff? Maybe to say to the people, the viewership. You definitely got some lady fans out there.
My job, like the women at my job is like, we just love his deep voice, and he's just, we're just like, alright.
Zeus on Instagram, Zeus
right.
Jaw, I don't know, something like that.
We'll put his Instagram up in the comments. You guys can go follow Jeff, and he got some eye candy pictures up there, but just be careful.
That's a married man, though.
He is
so
married. He is married, but there you go.
So I do have two things to say. For one thing, I do want to kind of make people aware, which I'm pretty sure the whole world is pretty much aware of this coronavirus that's going on.
We definitely talked about it too. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's very important because the numbers are going up daily. And like I think last time I heard it was around like 282 people that were affected by it. Now it's looking like it's going up faster, and it's going to continue to go up. So we want to be as careful as we could possibly be. So wash your hands, don't wipe your eyes and your mouth. Don't put your hands in your mouth. If you go anywhere where there's a large group of people, be aware and try to avoid that. A lot of events were canceled over the weekend, and airplanes and stuff like that. So just be aware and know that this situation right here might be the starting point to a market crash because of how much money we're losing. America's losing in this situation because of this virus. I'm not going to say it could have been prevented. However, I feel like America should have been in a more stable position to deal with it, consider the fact that we have experienced similar virus and stuff like that happened years ago that killed thousands and thousands of people. So so America could have been in a better position to deal with it. However, I will always say this, and I stand by it. I don't think the world really give a damn about people. I think you really have to give a damn about yourself. So be as careful as you possibly can be. Make sure, like I said, wash your hands. If you go anywhere, avoid being in a large settings where there's a lot of people, because you never know. The virus takes about 2 weeks for it to really show symptoms, and within that 2 weeks, that time frame, you can pass it on to as many people as possible. So be careful with
It's like,
that.
it's like what defense, right? It's like
Right.
you know, but I feel you, man. I appreciate that. You brought up some good points that we didn't, even touch on with the market crash and all that. So appreciate that.
Yeah. And my last point, and this goes out to the ladies.
I did not say it. Look. Ladies. Go on and hit it.
Ladies. Now, this is for women that are either in a marriage or in a relationship or just looking for someone, that special someone. Know your worth, okay? It's like going to a job interview and they ask you how much you think you should be getting paid. And you're like, well, I'm okay for anything. I'm open to talk about it. No. Tell them people you need $100,000 a year. Tell them you need $60,000 a year.
Yo, okay.
Know your worth. Know your worth. Know your
You better have
worth.
somebody going to McDonald's. I need $45,000 on the spot.
Bro, I fixed this ice cream machine so many times.
Right.
You better label me technician.
Seriously, at this point, you're not open for discussion. You're not open to settle down with anything. Know your worth, know what you want, know what you're looking for, and make sure that the person that you're talking to about it, that that's there in front of you, that they can actually accept that and move along with you. So that's my thanks to the ladies, and that's about it.
No, that's good. That's good.
Thank
man.
you, brother Jeff.
I could definitely see Mimi being. I could definitely see Mimi being the one that call you super fast during some of our podcasts for you to balance out. Over.
Look, brother Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, but hey man, Jeff, hey man, love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
Man, I wish you the best, man. And honestly, with you moving, man, like things like this, we're talking about the viruses. Things always seem so much more wilder when people now you put distance in between, people that you know what I'm saying? But still, best of prayers to you out there and everything. Somebody's talking about black folk don't really get this or whatever, but hey, did you see anything on that?
I did not, but I think people saying black folk don't get that is just like as ignorant as hell.
Yeah, right.
Because we know how black people are. The minute you say like, okay, there's something going on, they be the first one to be like, let's get our crap together. Let's go make sure we have everything we need in the house. I mean, I know how my parents or some of my friends reacted to it. So for somebody to say black folks don't care about it, it's very ignorant to actually pick a specific group of people to kind of put that label on them. So, I don't believe that at all. I think at this point everyone cares because it's a deadly situation.
No, right. It is.
You can't avoid it. Avoid it. So. You have to take precaution. So I would say everybody do care. I mean, I go to different places. I see people with masks on, and people are more. I know like washing your hands is very important throughout your daily life. But now I'm seeing an increased amount of people just kind of like washing their hands like all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important. So it's a great tactic to have for one. But I think everyone do care because you don't want your friend or your family to get sick. And this thing could potentially kill you, Yeah.
Well, good, man. I appreciate your input, man. I appreciate, of course, what you've done, for the podcast and everything and chiming in, man. So, we're about to close things out over here, man. So I'm going to let you, do your thing, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night.
All right, most definitely, bro. Catch you.
All right, guys.
But, just wrapping up what I was saying, man. Tevin, this whole podcast is an example of what we're doing, of the quote, where friends have a good idea, let's go and make something together. And of course, this can eventually become something where, we have our own platforms to even generate whatever comes out, whatever blessings. So, and so where Tevin is like, pouring into my business with trusting me with his goals and training. Of course, pours into his business with coming getting the chance game and coming out to his events.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And being a part of that. So yeah, man, just realize, yo, you should be able to, if you can't do business or whatever with your friends, like, honestly, I feel like there's something in between y'all somewhere where y'all should check yourself. Because, I mean, if y'all really have something, a good idea, y'all mesh good, you know, why not, you know?
But you have to hold each other accountable, hold yourself accountable, and hold your friend accountable. Because about 2 years ago, I started a business with a friend. And I thought everything was good, but I didn't hold her accountable for a lot of things. And, you know, at the end of the day, I ended up frustrated because I was having to pick up the work, slack. And, you know, I hate that it actually affected our friendship. So, you know, if you are going to do mix friends with business, you know, hold each other accountable, but just, you know, friends is friends, business is business.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Learn to separate the two.
Please.
And honestly, however you conduct both will just show what type of person you are.
Yeah,
definitely. If
definitely.
you're a trash person, you're going to do trash business. If you're a trash friend, you're going to be a trash friend. I mean, why shouldn't you be able to be a good person in both? You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
But you know, I just feel like too, it's on a personal level. Don't take things personal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, the fact of us doing business, we could be arguing about the business or about, you know, just whatever. But as soon as it's time to go,
Hey man, you
oh,
straight.
that's over. Yeah,
Sure.
like that's nothing void. You know,
go meditate if you have to after the argument. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Just learn to
you have
separate
to.
the situation.
and be like, you know, I'm mad at you, bro, but what we drinking? You know, like where we going? Like, and that's just.
I think Mayweather and 50 Cent are an example of that kind of like they.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at some interviews and yeah, their friendship got tainted because of something
business.
happened with business. So I don't ever want to be that person, you know, that's lost a friend or whatever. You know, just be a better person. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I got you, bro. Just at the end of the day, just be the person that you want to meet. Be the friend that you want to, you know, what you would like to have back to you, and be the business partner that you want somebody to be a part of you. You know what I mean? Like, just take it that serious to the point where I'm gonna do my best, period, point blank. And if you do your best, then we're good to go.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Right. But yeah, I mean, you got anything else? What's up?
No, so we're just gonna wrap it up. You know, I feel like this is a great podcast today. You know, I enjoyed it.
Most definitely. Sheila, how you like the podcast? How you like what's happening?
Honest feedback.
Honest, man. Like, I didn't really know exactly what to expect. You know what I mean? Because, you know, this is not like I just do podcasts, right?
Yeah.
And I really think this is a great platform, and it will evolve. And this is actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, you know what I mean? Appreciate y'all tuning in to Excellence is an Understatement Podcast, which, yes, we will be operating in greater excellence going forward.
Definitely.
Yes.
With our content and being consistent and being on time.
Yes.
And all that great stuff.
Everything.
Appreciate y'all tuning in. We're gonna have some type of saying outro or something at some point. Like some type of something witty, I don't know. You know. Right? Catch y'all later.
All right, deuces.
Deuces.